All right, so get ready because today we're taking a deep dive into the world of Libra.
Ooh, fun.
Yeah, we're going way beyond just, those basic sun sign stereotypes.
Right.
Using this really in-depth astrological profile we found.
Awesome.
Yeah. And one thing I've always found so fascinating about Libras
Mm.
is how they can just like walk into a room
Yes.
and instantly everyone feels comfortable. Like
Yeah.
they have the superpower to create harmony
Sure.
everywhere they go.
Yeah, it's not really a superpower,
Right.
but it's definitely a defining trait.
Yeah.
I mean, look at their symbol, the scales of justice.
Mm.
That's like a major clue to their core drive, right?
Mhm.
It's all about establishing balance.
Balance.
Yeah, in like everything.
Interesting.
But it goes so much deeper than just like keeping the peace or something.
Okay, so it's more than just being agreeable.
Way more.
What's like the deeper meaning behind this quest for balance?
Well, you have to consider that Libra is ruled by Venus, the planet associated with beauty, love, and harmony.
Okay.
But Venus also has a strong intellectual side.
Oh, interesting.
And for Libras, this translates into a need to weigh different perspectives, to
Mhm.
see like both sides of every coin.
Oh, I see. So it's not just about avoiding conflict.
Right.
It's about finding a solution that's like intellectually and aesthetically satisfying.
Exactly.
Wow.
They apply this aesthetic lens to everything.
Really?
Oh, yeah. From their relationships to their work to like,
Yeah.
I don't know, a perfectly arranged cheese board.
That's so Libra.
Right.
The source we're using actually mentioned this,
Okay.
how Libras effortlessly float through social gatherings,
Yeah.
like leaving smiles in their wake.
They're good at that.
I know, it's like they have this magnetic aura,
Totally.
but how does this connect back to Venus?
Well, remember, Venus is all about connection
Right?
and creating a pleasing atmosphere. So for Libras, this translates to being like natural diplomats.
That makes sense.
They can smooth over any awkward situation.
Oh, yeah.
Median disagreements just generally make everyone feel really comfortable.
That's a great skill.
It is.
So it's not just about being charming.
No.
It's about using their social skills to create harmony.
Exactly.
Yeah.
It's more than wanting to be liked. They genuinely value connection
Mm-hmm.
and strive to create a positive social environment.
I can see that. But even with all those diplomatic skills, I imagine there are times when their desire for harmony
Yeah,
clashes with their own needs and desires.
definitely.
Especially since the source mentioned indecisiveness
Oh, yeah.
as like a key Libra trait.
It's a big one.
What's that all about?
Well, the flip side of seeing all sides of an issue
Yeah,
is that it can be really hard to choose a path,
right.
but I wouldn't necessarily call it a weakness.
Okay.
It's more about thoroughness.
Yeah.
They want to make sure their decisions are fair and balanced,
I see.
which can lead to a lot of internal wrestling.
It's true. So they're constantly trying to balance those scales.
Yeah.
Even when it comes to their own thoughts and feelings,
Pretty much.
I can see how that could be exhausting.
It can be.
But what about when they do have to make a decision?
Yeah.
Especially in situations where conflict is just unavoidable.
That's a good question. Well, their diplomatic skills definitely come in.
Right.
They'd much rather talk things through,
Mm-hmm.
find some common ground,
Yeah.
reach a compromise,
Mm-hmm.
than, like, get into a heated argument.
So they don't shy away from conflict completely. They just approach it from a different mindset. It's more about like collaborating
Yeah,
and finding a harmonious resolution.
exactly. They see conflict as, like, an opportunity to restore that balance,
Okay.
not as a battle to be won.
Interesting.
And their strength really lies in being able to see the other person's perspective,
Mm-hmm.
even if they don't agree with it.
That's a pretty amazing skill. It
Yeah.
makes me think of that quote.
What quote?
The one attributed to Voltaire? I disapprove of what you say, but I will defend to the death your right to say it.
Classic.
I feel like a Libra would totally embody that.
100%.
Yeah.
And that ties back into their sense of justice and fairness.
Right.
Like, they truly believe everyone deserves to be heard and treated with respect,
Mm-hmm.
even in the midst of disagreement.
But doesn't that desire to please sometimes backfire?
Oh, for sure.
Because the source mentioned that Libras can struggle with like asserting their own needs.
And opinions. It's true.
Yeah.
They can be so focused on keeping everyone else happy
Yeah.
that they kind of neglect their own well-being.
Oh, wow.
But they're so busy balancing the scales for everyone else that they forget to check their own internal equilibrium.
That makes sense. I imagine that can lead to some resentment
Definitely.
building up over time, especially if they're constantly compromising their own desires just to keep things harmonious.
Exactly. And this is where that conflict avoidance can become a real problem.
Because
they might bottle up their feelings instead of addressing issues directly.
Oh, I see.
Which can then lead to, passive-aggressive behavior or even like a sudden outburst down the line.
Oh, so it's almost like their strength.
Right.
That diplomacy, that desire for harmony can become a weakness.
It can.
If they're not careful.
If they're not careful.
So the key for Libras is finding that balance.
We'll call it a balance.
Between honoring their own needs and maintaining those harmonious relationships that they crave.
It's about learning to say no when it's necessary,
Great.
to express their opinions, even when they're different from others, and to address conflict on a healthy, assertive way.
Self-awareness is crucial,
They're
Libras.
So crucial.
They need to recognize when they're sacrificing their well-being for the sake of keeping the peace.
Exactly.
But how does this tendency to prioritize external harmony over internal needs play out in other areas of their lives? Like their careers.
Well, Libras are naturally drawn to careers where they can really use those diplomatic skills and their sense of fairness.
Okay.
So, fields like law, mediation, diplomacy, even social work.
Oh, yeah.
Those are all natural fits.
I can totally picture a Libra as a judge, weighing all the arguments, reaching a fair verdict, or even as a therapist, helping couples find common ground.
Yes.
Work through conflict.
Exactly.
But their Venusian influence.
Yes.
That comes into play here, too.
It does.
Remember, Venus is associated with beauty and creativity.
Right.
So a lot of Libras are drawn to careers that allow them to express that artistic side, like design, fashion, music, the arts. So it's not just about finding a career that's intellectually stimulating. It's about finding something that's aesthetically pleasing.
Yes.
And allows them to create beauty in the world.
Exactly. For a Libra, work isn't just about, earning a living. It's about expressing their unique talents. And contributing to a more beautiful and harmonious world.
It's like their career becomes an extension of their inner quest for balance.
It all comes back to balance.
But speaking of their inner world, the source we're looking at highlighted a side of Libras that goes beyond just that social butterfly persona.
Right.
They mentioned Libras being deep thinkers with a real love for intellectual pursuits.
Oh, yeah.
How does that fit into the picture?
Well, it's a really important aspect of their Venusian nature. Because Venus isn't just about, superficial beauty. It's about appreciating beauty in all its forms.
Interesting.
Including intellectual beauty. So Libras are drawn to ideas, concepts, philosophies, things that spark their curiosity and expand their understanding of the world.
So they're not just charming socialites.
No.
They're also, closet intellectuals.
A little bit.
Who enjoy a good philosophical debate.
Love it.
Or a thought-provoking book.
Oh, yeah.
They love those deep conversations.
They do.
Exploring different perspectives, challenging their own assumptions.
That's how they learn.
And this intellectual curiosity feeds their need for balance.
Right.
By allowing them to see the world from multiple angles.
It's all connected.
It's like they're constantly seeking that mental and emotional equilibrium through intellectual exploration.
Yeah.
But I'm curious, how does this intellectual side manifest in their personal lives?
Yeah.
Do they tend to overthink things or get caught up in analysis paralysis?
Yeah, it's a little bit of both, actually.
Really?
Their analytical minds can be a blessing and a curse.
How so?
Well, on one hand, they're able to see things from all angles, which helps them make informed decisions, understand complex issues.
So it's less about overthinking and more about wanting to gather all the information before forming an opinion.
They want to make sure their decisions are well-reasoned and fair.
That makes sense.
But then on the other hand, this tendency to analyze everything can sometimes lead to them getting stuck in their heads. Second-guessing themselves, struggling to take action.
I can see that. It's like their mental scales are constantly tipping back and forth, making it hard to find that point of equilibrium.
It can be tough for them.
Yeah.
And this is where their Venusian love for beauty comes back into play.
Okay.
Because for Libras, beauty isn't just about appearances. It's about creating a sense of harmony and balance.
Interesting.
in their internal world as well.
So how do they use beauty to, like, achieve that inner peace?
Well, they might surround themselves with beautiful objects.
Okay.
Spend time in nature.
Yeah.
Engage in creative pursuits.
Like what?
Like painting or writing, anything that nourishes their soul and brings them a sense of tranquility.
That makes sense. It's fascinating how they use their aesthetic sensibilities to create a sense of equilibrium.
Yeah.
Both internally and externally.
They're connected.
It's like they're weaving a tapestry of beauty in every aspect of their life.
I like that.
But I'm curious, with all this emphasis on harmony and balance, are Libras ever spontaneous? Do they ever just go with the flow?
They can be, but it definitely takes a conscious effort.
Okay.
Because their natural inclination is to plan, weigh their options, make sure everything is in order.
They like things to be just so.
They do.
But they also recognize the value of spontaneity.
Oh, yeah.
And are capable of breaking out of those routines when the mood strikes.
For sure.
So it's about finding that balance.
Always about balance.
Between structure and freedom, planning and improvisation. And this is where their relationships can actually play a big role.
Oh, how so?
Being with someone who encourages their spontaneous side can help them tap into that part of themselves.
Yeah. It's like they need someone to help them tip those mental scales towards adventure every now and then.
Exactly.
And in turn, Libras bring their unique gifts to the relationship.
Like what?
They're loyal, devoted partners.
Yeah. Okay.
Always striving to create that harmonious and beautiful connection.
So they're not just looking for a partner. They're looking for someone who complements their strengths.
Yes.
Helps them navigate their weaknesses.
Someone to balance them out.
It's all about balance.
It always is.
And when they find that person, it's magical.
It really is.
Their relationship becomes like a reflection of their inner quest for balance.
Right.
A testament to their ability to create harmony.
Beautiful.
Well, I think we've covered a lot of ground today.
We have?
In our deep dive into the world of Libra.
It's been fun.
We've learned that there's so much more than just charming social butterflies.
They are multifaceted.
They're complex individuals.
Deep thinkers.
With a deep appreciation for beauty.
And justice.
And intellectual exploration. They're constantly seeking balance, both internally and externally.
Yeah.
And they bring their unique gifts of diplomacy and harmony to every aspect of their lives.
It's inspiring.
It really is.
And you know, maybe the most important takeaway here.
What's that?
Is that we can all learn something from that Libra spirit.
Oh, yeah.
We can all strive to create more balance in our own lives.
Absolutely.
Approach conflict with a little more grace and understanding. And maybe cultivate a deeper appreciation for the beauty around us.
Beautifully said.
Thank you.